There is a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood leads on to fortune. Amid it, all the voyage of their life is bound in shallows and in miseries. On such a full sea are we now afloat. Why are you laughing, you bugger? It just came, it was one of these odd things that came through my agent, and they said, oh, we'd like you to go meet Leslie Manning. It wasn't I didn't meet the writer, I don't think. And I said, oh, yeah, great. Is there anything to see, any pages or a script? No, you're not allowed to see any script. I said, well, what's it about? We can't tell you. And, well, what is this? What is this? So anyway, I went and completely fell in love with her, Leslie. She was fantastic and so generous and so kind. And I think I read something. I mean, we are talking 30 years ago. And then I heard I got the job. But I still never got to see the whole script. I was never shown the whole script. But she did give me a rough outline what it was all about, and I had to obviously keep very, very quiet about it. And then I just remember going to the film studio. I think we filmed it in the BBC. You probably know better than myself, Rich. A TV centre, I think. And then going in, and it was all very, very hush-hush. It was all very, very extraordinary. And they said, well, you'll be off camera, obviously, in some kind of sound booth off the set. But come and say hello to Michael Parkinson and to Gillian Bevan. So I got on the set and got to say hello to them, and of course, well, he's an icon, still is, and I was always a big fan of Gillian because of all her work in theatre. So I was totally starstruck, and that made me terribly nervous. And then I just got locked away in this little room and just read it a couple of times, and I'd learnt it, but I did have it. But what Leslie said was, you can improvise it, and you can, you know, if you want to change a few words, just make it sound naturalistic. She was very, very keen on that it mustn't sound as if an actor is reading a script, of course. So she said, if that means changing any words. So that was great. That was very, very freeing. It just felt very, very, very easy and very casual and very relaxed, and everybody seemed very generous, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And then, of course, it went out, and there was that extraordinary reaction from it, which I didn't quite understand. But then I suppose because I knew it was a piece of drama, and all that nonsense BBC bashing that went on with the usual suspects. But I thought it was a fantastic piece of work. And cut to many, many years later, when I was auditioning for somebody at Shakespeare's Globe, when I was an actor, I'm no longer an actor. And what she got most excited about, this is Adele Thomas, who is a fantastic theatre director and now a brilliant opera director, was when she saw Ghostwatch on my CV. That is all she wanted to talk about. I said, well, I was only on, I only, you know, I did one day. If it was that, it was kind of 1 hour, and I was off camera. Yeah, but she wanted to talk about it. She loved it, absolutely loved it. So it's these kind of super fans, this network of super fans that you kind of occasionally meet, and when they see that on your CV. And for a while I took it off my CV. I thought, oh, I can't really justify it because I didn't really do that much, and you've obviously got to edit stuff. But it was the kind of thing that people wanted to talk about, so it's back on my CV now. But I just loved it. I loved it. It felt like a very kind, very generous setup, and obviously that came from the writer Stephen, and who I don't think I met, but certainly Leslie, who was just a fantastic captain of that ship.
Technically incredibly exciting to do, because everybody at every stage said, we haven't done this before. And that was a wonderful thing, to be sort of captain of that ship.
Yeah, I'm now a theatre director, and I realised the great directors I've worked with, of course I didn't spend a long enough with her, but just that short experience I had with her, what I think makes a great director is they direct by stealth. They're not didactic or prescriptive, and she wasn't. As I said, you know, she was just very, very freeing and very, very generous. That makes a huge difference. It was just, you can tell when you walk onto a set, and also that is very, very nerve-wracking. It's much, which I have done. I've played larger parts in TV things, TV films, and or films, and then it's much easier. But if you've just got 2 hours on a film set, it's very, 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 it's much more nerve-wracking, because you've got to hit the ground running, and you don't know anybody there. But she was just great at making you feel welcome and necessary to the project, and an important, albeit small, component to that project. That's great leadership, yeah, and great direction. And she did it by stealth. I think that's what's fantastic about her. I worked with Gillian on a Simon Armitage play called The Last Days of Troy, up in the Manchester Royal Exchange, which we then transferred to the Shakespeare's Globe. So I got to know Gillian on that. She's wonderful. I mean, and great for that role, because she's so kind of benign and friendly and lovely, and no, she's as lovely on the outside as she's lovely on the inside as she is on the outside. She's a real good egg. She really is, and a fantastic actress. I think maybe I'm misremembering this, but I think some people may have complained about. I've had that before, where people complained about my Welsh. I was born in Wales, but because I've got an Irish name, I'm often, certainly at the start of my career, I was told I did the worst Welsh accent that anybody had ever heard, because people thought, because my father was Irish. But I think there were people in Wales that complained that, oh, another Welsh person making fun of the Welsh, doing the Welsh down. I thought, well, I thought it was very funny. I thought it was a great character, and yeah, it was a great piece of writing. Yeah. I just thought I mustn't muck this up, because there's too much. Yeah, yeah. What did I think? I thought. I don't know. Maybe he was. I think possibly he'd had too much to drink. It sounded like that, didn't it? Because doesn't he have mates in the background or something? And they're there. They seem to be having a laugh. But with those things, maybe something's set up as a joke. So maybe everybody's right. So it sets up as a joke. But maybe then there's oh my God, that did happen. And what did it? Maybe he starts to believe the joke that he set up. So I tell you what it is. You start to believe the lie. Maybe that's what it is. You start to believe it and think, God, maybe that was true, and maybe that was something. But as I said, alcohol was in the mix, so who knows? You're talking about 30 years ago. I was about 5, as you can see. Well, and that's my barometer. If the writing's good, I'll do it. I'll direct it, or not acting, as I said, I don't act anymore. But if the writing's good, or if the writing has the potential to be good, then that for me is the yardstick. Well, that's what I go. Okay, I'll get involved in this. And even when I wasn't working as an actor, I would turn stuff down because the writing wasn't good enough. Because you're investing so much in it, you want to be associated with good material. And this was a punt, obviously, with Ghostwatch, because I didn't know what the whole script was. But yeah, I love the fact it ruffled a few feathers. That's good. I wish the BBC took more risks like that. But no, it's good. So happy Halloween from Kevin. And just keep eating those cheese and pickle sandwiches. And I'm thrilled that you're still fans of this fantastic show. And don't use gherkins, because I choked on a gherkin once. Not good. Cheese and pickle, that's the one, on white sliced bread. Bye-bye.